Good morning, respected Chief Secretary Sir, PCCF Sir, all secretaries, Shri Kiran Gitte from the Convergence Foundation, who is working with the Cabinet Secretary, Government of India, and he is one of the brain behind the deregulation agenda in the country. Shri Suman Basuji from IIM Calcutta, who will be working with you all for impact assessment of the reforms. District magistrates, directors, senior officers, and all field officers who are responsible for actual implementation of the reform initiatives on the ground. I would like to welcome you all for this very important and productive workshop. We are truly overwhelmed by the response of the field officers who are in attendance today. All the 4 halls of Pragna Bhawan are full by the field officers who are involved in the implementation of the reforms, and this presentation is being relayed in all the 4 halls. So from this you can gauge the importance as well as the magnitude of today's workshop. First of all, let me spell out the objectives of today's workshop. So this is a rare occasion where entire administrative apparatus of the state, which are related with the permissions, licenses, certifications given to industry, business, construction, utilities, are gathered at one place, and that too on the very first day of the beginning of the financial year. So this date has been purposely chosen because you all know that since January we are implementing the deregulation and compliance reduction phase 2, and I am glad to mention here before all of you that in record 3 months time, once again Tripura has completed the phase 2 of the deregulation exercise in 100% manner, and we are ready to stake claim once again for the first position in the country like last year. As Industry and Commerce Department is nodal agency for the reforms, let me thank you all and also congratulate the team of all secretaries ably led by our Chief Secretary Sir. That's unique feat of repeating the top performance in reforms in back-to-back years. But you know that reforms are not complete until they are implemented in true spirit. Our citizens, industries, businesses and commercial enterprises will not get benefited if our enthusiasm for reforms ends only with the notifications of the policies, acts and rules. As Prime Minister said, reforms not only requires niti, that means policy, but also requires niyat, that is true spirit for its implementation. So, I am sure that as a outcome of today's workshop, that we all will implement these reforms. Because phase 1 you are already implementing, and phase 2, as these are completed by yesterday, 31st of March, we will start implementation in its complete shape. So I will run you through a small presentation which will set the tone for this workshop. Then our secretaries will also highlight the major initiatives, and it will help you to understand how to implement these reforms. See, why we need reforms? It is mainly because if you see the indicators of India vis-a-vis say other countries in Asia, I am not talking about the Europe or other nations in the Western world. See the figures with Bangladesh, China, Vietnam, manufacturing, share in the GDP, or employment share in the large firms, as well as per capita labor intensive exports. We all lag even behind Bangladesh. So unless and until we overhaul the complete industry and business system, we are not going to catch up. So this effort started about 10 years back. In 2015, you will see the graph jumping that our rank in the World Bank's UDP has improved a lot. I am told that as latest we are at rank 54. Now, business reforms over the years, there were 7 editions of business reform. It all started in 2015 with the Public Services Guarantee Act. Then we had SOPs for all the permissions. Then we had single windows. Now these all were prescribed, but states took their own time. Like say, single window was prescribed in 2017-18, but it was only in 2020 that Tripura could implement the single window system. So there was a lag of say 3 to 4 years. But these all reforms were prescriptive and mostly related to the central legislations, and they did not touch upon the state or municipal or local body regulations. So these were some areas of say land allotment, construction, environment clearances, labor, taxes. Okay, then we had legal metrology. All these areas were touched upon, but thorough reforms were not done. This is Tripura's journey of EODP. You will see that right from 2016 when we started. See the top row. Our rank was 22, 25, 29. We were at the rock bottom of the business reform ranking in the country. But then things started looking up after 2020 when the single window came. Then the talk about the business reform started. We could achieve about 70% in 2020, then about 66% in 22. But 2024, you see, we achieved about 94% of reforms. So this was about the business reform action plan, which was DPIT driven. And we also got some awards also on the way as we were improving. But now recently EODP framework has been now amended by the World Bank, and Be Ready framework has been adopted. Now this is yet to be ranked. Countries are yet to be ranked among this new framework, but you can Google it, you can read about it. These actually touch upon the actual pain points, difficulties that industry businesses face during their business entry, business location, utilities, labor, taxes, disputes. All these areas are covered in this. So that is why a new effort was made from 2025 by the Cabinet Secretariat under the heading of deregulation and compliance reduction. Because I told this background because how we have moved from the business reform action plan towards the deregulation. This is actually constructive destruction, means we are dismantling the old regulatory regime and we are bringing in a new user-friendly, totally digital, self-certification based regime. So here then the state, municipal, local act regulations were selected. So a 3-step process was prescribed to identify the areas of regulation, comparing with other states, other countries, and a novel idea of estimating cost of regulation. Okay, what is the cost of regulation? Because we in the government may not feel the pain, but anybody who would like to open industry or business, how much time is spent, how much opportunity cost is lost, how much cost is incurred out in the payment of licenses, multiple applications, multiple permits. So that has been described. The areas like say legal status, land, building construction, labor, utilities, these are all day-to-day permissions that each and every business and industry has to get: transport, logistics, marketing, environment. So all this has been now prioritized. And likes the experience of other countries, how they are managing. Each and every country who is doing good in the business reform, they have a dedicated setup at the union level as well as the province level. So in a federation like India, so we have to have a very close monitoring in the center, which is not being done by the task force headed by the none other than cabinet secretary, and all the secretaries in the government of India are the members. And each state also has its own machinery. So these are some examples of US, UK, New Zealand, Argentina, how they are doing. So now same pattern has been repeated at the state level also. We have a deregulation cell in the Chief Secretary office. Now it is for the first time the Chief Secretary has taken a very deep interest, and one officer who is posted in the CS office to lead the cell on the day-to-day basis. Chief Secretary sir guides us, reviews, monitor. So that is why we are able to do all these reforms in a such a organized and speedy manner. So this, in the phase 1, you know that there were 23 areas. I will not go into details. These broadly belong to land, building construction, labor, utilities, this water, electricity, internet connectivity, sewerage connection, and some common priorities like the single window system, like Jan Viswas and decriminalization, making the all applications online. So now today all the officers, right from the state level, directorate level, district, even up to the block level, sub-division level, who are involved in this exercise of these areas are present here. So these were the number of priority areas in the 5 sectors. Now what we have done in last say 1 year and 3 months, almost a year, because the team of the task force came last year in the month of March. So we have now done all the deregulation in almost 24 departments and their directorates. And we have set up dedicated institutional groups, working groups led by chief secretaries. We are doing continuous monitoring for deregulation cell in the chief secretary office and stakeholder consultation. It is not that these reforms we have done in isolation. We have been talking to the industry players, with the real estate players, traders, with our own staff officers. What are the difficulties that we face and how we can remove these? Okay, then we also done a collaboration with the reputed institutions like and Kolkata. They'll make a presentation here because they'll be doing impact assessment. IIT Delhi, NLU, Tripura, they are working on the Jan Viswas Act. In IIT Gandhinagar, they are helping us in the fire regulations. Then ISI Kolkata, they help us in calculating the total turnaround time as well as cost of regulation. And these were the areas that we have worked in the last 1 year, and we have achieved the, and you know this, see this slide, that you will feel proud that in the last Chief Secretary's conference in presence of Prime Minister, this slide was shown, that Tripura was shown as the top ranking state in the first place. So here you can see Tripura, Odisha, Uttar Pradesh, they are the first, but we were the first. We achieved in July itself. The other states then followed, and by the end of December, they also implemented all the agenda. But then there were many states which are otherwise forward looking, but they took their own time because of complexity. We also had our complexities, but because of the close teamwork, with the seamless administration, breaking of the silos, and with the involvement of all you, we could do it. Then this was in the Economic Times. This was a letter which was sent by Cabinet Secretary and Chief Secretary, where it was mentioned that not only Tripura has led this reform, but other states are emulating our strategy. And these are the best practices, okay, which were published in the portal of the Cabinet Secretary office, and these are being read and followed by the other states. And we were also invited by many states in the northeast of eastern India, and we went to Bihar on a special invitation, and we shared our strategy, how we did it. So we are trying to replicate our strategy there. This was an article in Outlook magazine where our reform renaissance has been mentioned, and where our Chief Minister was the only Chief Minister who featured as a leader who is working towards the fighting economy because of the reform lead. Now, coming to the phase 2, which we were working on in last 3 months in 28 priority areas. So these were the areas you all know that you all have been working, and this has been already completed yesterday. But as I mentioned, the completion of legislation or notification or circular is not the complete job. It is the beginning. And today we have gathered here to make a resolve that we will actually implement on the ground, and then we will really feel the impact of this. These are the details: how many acts were amended, guidelines were amended, new policies were framed, rules were framed. All these details are there. This presentation I will share with you all through your HODs. You will get to see this. I will not spend much time. Now I would like to highlight the importance of PA22. Here in the PA22, what is mentioned is we have to create a centralized digital repository. All the acts, rules, regulations, government orders should be at one place. Any officer, any citizen should be able to access it at one place. And we have put it there and then reviewed them on a principle-based framework. So these are the 6 principles that we have to make all the licenses, permissions based on the self-registration, except those which are serious risks, as is given in the first principle. Second, as far as possible, lifetime validity. Like say birth certificate, house permission, you get for lifetime. So like that, why not to give, say, licenses, permission for the lifetime, if not possible, at least for 10 years, and do the auto renewal, then allow the third parties, if not self-notification, to work, and there should be a risk-based inspection. It should not be 100%. It should be sample-based, random, and we have to also remove the outdated rules and regulations. So you all are working on this. All departments are working on this, and there are 300 acts, and there are so many rules, orders which are being reviewed. And I request you all to make the necessary amendments in the days to come. We should identify the pain points, and rather than waiting for any, say, prescription, we should initiate the reform. Once reform mindset is created, then we can generate our own ideas and take it forward. This is, again, I would like to draw the attention of district magistrates and the field officers that we have to take this now reforms at the district level, subdivision level. And there will always be a tendency that even though the reforms what we have made are available online, there will be always be tendency to give a physical application. There will be always be a tendency to go to office, then wait for approvals. So in many cases, duplication is being done, as we have done in the e-office. That immediately after adoption of the e-office, we have stopped the physical files. Now, immediately after the phase 1 and phase 2 of the reforms, we should stop accepting the physical applications and mandate only use of single window and online applications. This has to be done religiously and scrupulously at every stages. These are the timelines which you all know for the BRAP. Now for the district also, I know DMs are conducting meetings, they are sitting with all officers. Now after this workshop which we are having for a state level, we will also come to districts and also discuss the details with you, that how you are implementing, what is the, these are all workshops being held by the DMs regularly. So I would like to thank all the DMs that they are taking interest in the reform agenda. And once we start implementing and monitoring by DMs, then we will really see the impact. So I will not spend much time on what it is. My focus was on the why. Why should we do the reforms and why should we implement it? Now this is another, let's say, Swagat, you all know. Initially the Swagat was only limited to industrial permissions. But now building permissions, fire services, even your pollution control, each and everything related to business, industry or commerce is being routed, even health, all the permission, food safety, drug control are routed to the Swagat. Now that's why we are going to now Swagat 2.0, and this is a new portal which has been built on a new platform which can talk with the other portals of the department, central portals. Don't worry, even if you are working on the central portal, you can integrate with the Swagat. So now we have to use the Swagat 2.0 in 100% because here we have given all the departments, and about 17,000 entrepreneurs have used Swagat. And about 42,000 applications were submitted, and you see that almost 95% have been approved. Okay, only few were pending or rejected. You can see this is the success of Swagat. And if you say put all your permissions, because this is so user friendly that any industry or business or any say building construction, they will apply at only one place, only one application form, only one payment office, and no need to go anywhere and time bound. Within 30 days, we give them all permissions, and now we have also appointed the private agency to manage the Swagat. Like, say passport. Now, once you submit application, you get state-wise messages, and finally, passport comes to your residence. You did not go anywhere. Like this is the model of now Swagat. There is agency who is responsible for managing, and they get the approval from the departments online and deliver a final certificate also online. So this has to be practiced. We are doing training. We will do another round of training at the district level so that you can use, even in the health, you will be surprised to know that if any doctor want to set up a hospital, then 23 documents are needed. And they used to give only provisional approval and then every year renewal. So this we have changed, we have modified the act, we have also amended the law, and from 23 documents now only say 2 to 9 documents, minimum 2 documents, maximum if a hospital is there with the blood bank, with the lab, with the inpatient care also, then maximum 9 documents are there. And we are giving permission for 10 years and auto renewal for 5 years. Even the health aspect also has been dealt with under the Swagat, and also food safety. So one day I was surprised that the food safety act which was monitored by the central government was amended thoroughly. Means now there are many say food outlets. So if their turnover is less than 1.5 crore, they are not required to take any license. I think Tripura 99% will be now not required to take any license. So such a liberal regime now is being set up by the government of India. Then why we should lag behind? So in say last 2 years, we have seen that the huge impact of the reforms what we have. You can see Agartala, small towns, you can see a lot of commercial activity, industry activity, real estate has been now growing, and investment in last 1 year we have got about 33,000 crores MOU we have signed, and about say 5,000 crores we have rounded. So say there was a time where 50 crore, 100 crore industry investment used to be a big thing for Tripura, but now no more. We are getting a lot of investment with, you can see here this sample list has been given, 900 crores, 600 crores. People are ready to put money in Tripura because we are liberalizing, we are moving fast, we are transparent, we are efficient. And I would like to mention, you can see the budget of this year, which was tabled in the assembly. that you will see that out of 34,000 crore budget, last year we could achieve the capital expenditure, that is expenditure on the development works of 10,000 crore. See, about 5 years ago, this number was only 2,000 crore. Development work was happening about 1500 crore, maximum 2,000 crore. But we have increased up to 5 times. So this was possible because of the liberal regime, business reforms, and more you implement on the ground, more confidence will be created. So I would like to end with the message that reforms, they begin with the legislation, but they end being grounded by you all. Thank you for coming for the workshop in the large number. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Gitte sir. That was a beautiful overview about the whole episode. And thank you very much, sir. And as the Gitte sir has said, this is just the beginning and we have minds to do. We have a very special person who joined us in the meanwhile. We are going to felicitate Honorable Secretary for ARPT, Fisheries and other departments, Srimati Pragna. Ma'am, thank you very much for joining us. It's a pleasure to have you all guys. Now we are moving towards our next presentation. The presentation on land reforms, urban reforms, education, school education reforms. Can I request Dr. Neil Granting